So yesterday we discussed about the contribution of George Gamow, how he found out the genetic code, the triplet codon, and the discoveries of the three other scientists, Severo Ochoa, Marshall Nirenberg, and the third one, Hargobind Khurana. Whatever they discovered, that also supported him, George Gamow, and on the basis of that, he gave the genetic. Now, I told you that what Severo Ochoa did, used for activating the ribonucleotides, phosphorylase enzyme is used. So he discovered that enzyme. Nirenberg artificially synthesized poly A, poly U. Nirenberg artificially synthesized poly A, poly U, poly C. And what he observed that where poly A was there, um, lysine was formed, poly A, poly U, and poly C. All this was synthesized in cell-free system. What do we mean by cell-free system? Cell-free system means artificially synthesized. Poly A means it is like this, many A's were synthesized together, many A's. And poly U means many U's. Poly C means many C's, artificially synthesized. And what he observed that poly A, where poly A was there, polylysine was it was formed, polylysine. Here polyphenyl alanine. It was formed, polyphenyl alanine, and where C was there, artificially synthesized polyproline. It was formed because AAA. Why lysine was formed? Because AAA, it stimulates the synthesis of lysine. UUU stimulates the synthesis of phenylalanine. CCC stimulates the synthesis of this particular proline. Whereas where G was there, glycine was synthesized. Then another, Indian-born scientist Hargobind Khurana was there. Hargobind Khurana, Dr. Hargobind Khurana. He was an Indian-born scientist, and what he did, he synthesized. First, he artificially synthesized this gentleman Hargobind Khurana. He was a organic chemist. He used to study organic chemistry. He was organic chemist, and what he did was he synthesized artificial RNA molecule of defined sequence and examined what polypeptide they direct in cell-free system. That means what he synthesized was artificial RNA molecule, and this artificial RNA molecule has UG, 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 UG. This artificially he synthesized this RNA molecule, and then what he observed was that for which particular amino acid they code for. To his surprise, what he observed that he didn't know that whether 3 were used or 2 were used. What he observed that there was the synthesis of cysteine, then lysine, valine, cysteine, valine, then again cysteine, then again valine. So he got a chain like this of these two amino acids, cysteine, valine, cysteine, valine. Now, what was observed later on that UGU used to code for cysteine, GUG used to code for valine. Okay. Now, George Gamow, this gentleman, George Gamow, what he found out, he said that there are all these findings of Severo Ochoa, Nirenberg, and Hargobind Khurana supported George Gamow. You got some supportive information. You got some supportive information regarding genetic code. So this gentleman, George Camo, got supportive information regarding genetic code from the findings of Hargobind Khurana, Nirenberg, and Severa Ochoa. Then what he observed later on, he said that if there are 4 nitrogenous bases and 20 amino acids, if there are 4 nitrogenous bases and 20 amino acids, how will the code for? What will the code for? If one nitrogenous base codes for one amino acid, then out of these 20, only 4 amino acids will be utilized. If 2 codes for, then again less than that. If 3 codes for, if 3 codes for, 3 nitrogenous bases codes for 1 amino acid, in that case about 64 were there amino acids which were utilized. And this, from this conclusion, he said that the triplet codon has, the genetic code which codes for amino acid has to be a triplet codon. On this basis, he said, because it covered all the amino acids. Okay, so on this basis, he said the genetic code, which codes for an amino acid. I think you are not able to see. I'm writing down. On the basis of this, what he concluded that genetic code which codes for an amino acid is a triplet codon. Is a triplet codon. This is what he concluded from these experiments, from the observations made by himself and also by these researchers. He concluded that it is always a triplet codon which codes the genetic code which codes for an amino acid. Now, there is a table which shows the codons for various triplet code, which shows the amino acid list of amino acid for various triplet codons and how it was made. This I'm going to show you. This is given in the NCERT book also. So the table was somewhat like this. Codons for various amino acids. The table shows triplet codons for various amino acids. Triplet codons for various amino acids. It was drawn somewhat like this. It is given in the NCERT book also. It was somewhat like this. So this way it was made, and there was first position, second position, and the third position. The nitrogenous bases were kept in 3 positions. 3 positions. There were 3 positions of nitrogenous bases. The first position, the second position, and the third position. First position was here, second position was here, and the third position was here. So in the first position, he wrote all the nitrogenous bases, one in each column, And the nitrogenous bases which were given here were UCAG. They had a sequence C, A, G. And in the same sequence, here again he wrote U, second position, C, A, G, all the four nitrogenous bases. And here now the third position had all the four bases in one column. That means in the same sequence, UCAG, UCAG, again UCAG, 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 this way. So all the four bases were given this position in this chart, and this chart showed all the four types, all the amino acids which were coded by the triplet codons. And now for the first, how was the first triplet codon formed? This U, and this U. So it comes to be in the first column U, the second is again U, and the second one, which is C. So it comes to be U, C. This is how the second codon was formed. And the third was U, the third one, which is A. So U, A. For the fourth one, U, G. G. And this way the four codons were formed in one. And the amino acid which coded for them, it was phenylalanine, phenylalanine here also, and these two have leucine, L-E, leucine and leucine. It coded for these amino acids. Same way, all the triplet codons were formed in all the columns. Like here, we can do one more. If you want, we can do one more over here. So it will be this, for the second codon to be formed, it will be C, this is C, then U and U. C, U, U. The second one will be C, U, and then C. The third one again C, U, and A. The fourth one C, U, G. So this way all the four triplet codons were formed, and they all coded for leucine. Leucine, 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 leucine. So this way, see, all the bases were covered, all the bases, all the 20 amino acids were covered by these four nitrogenous bases. Four nitrogenous bases covered all 20 amino acids. So rather it was more than 20. That means one code for more than one amino acid. Here, CUU, leucine is for CU is for leucine. CUC is also for leucine. CUA is also for leucine. CUG is also for leucine. UUG is also for leucine. UUA is also for leucine. So this way you can see more than one codon for a single amino acid. And this way all the 20 amino acids were covered by the four nitrogenous bases. Now here, I'll tell you the properties of the triplet codon. In all, here we have 64 codons. 64 codons. Out of the 64 codons, 61 out of these 64 codons, 61 codes for amino acids, whereas remaining 3 are nonsense codons or terminating codons or nonsense codons. So in all, 64 amino acids, 64 codons are there, triplet codes are there. Out of those 64, 61 codes for amino acids, and 3 are nonsense codons which do not code for any amino acid. Now one more column we can do here, this column. So it is, if we do this column, it will be G, the first one is U, G, C, G, C, G, A, G, A. The fourth one is G. Thus we have 4 triplet codons And these 4 triplet codons, they all code for the amino acid glycine. Glycine. So more than one codon for a single amino acid. And this way, all the 20 amino acids were covered by the 4 nitrogenous bases. Is it clear, this triplet codon for various amino acids? This is clear to you all, children? Or anything you want me to repeat in this? Or this is clear to you all? You can see it properly? Okay, this is clear. Paras Singh is saying to everybody. Okay, Sukh Sahaj. Yes. Only 2 students have replied my question. Only 2 students. There are many more. There are many students in the class today. See the total number of students. How many? Yes. Yes, beta. Any query in this? Yes, bache. Yes, beta. Any query in this? It's not that. See. Okay. Chitra is saying clear. Fine. So I move on to the properties of these triplet codons. I'll erase this now. So the property, the salient feature. So George Gamow is very important from the examination point of view also. In the first term exam also, I gave a question on George Gamow, which most of you answered correctly. But still this is important because as you know that you all have to appear for the board examination. So George Gamow is very important. Keep that in mind. Fine. Now here, the salient features about the triplet codon. So the first point is there are 64. There are 64 codons. The number of codons are 64. And another thing is only one codon codes for only one amino acid. Most of them are unambiguous. Then there are, see, unambiguous or non-ambiguous. Codons are non-ambiguous. That is, by this what we mean? By this we mean that if AUG is there, AUG will code only for methionine. Methionine. One triplet codon will code for one amino acid. AUG, if AUG is there, it will code only for amino acid. It's not that AUG will also code for lysine. It's not that. It will not happen. If AUG is there, it will code only for one amino acid, and that is methionine. That is why we say that the triplet codons are non-ambiguous or unambiguous. The next property is these codes are universal. Triplet codons are universal. What do we mean by this? Whether it's a bacteria or a higher organism, it will always code for the same amino acid. From bacteria to any higher organism. One triplet codon will code for same amino acid. it will code for the same amino acid. So this is another point, another feature of genetic code. Then codes are commaless. The fourth salient feature is codes are commaless. What do we mean by commaless? That there are no commas in between. Like if we write A U G U G U C G A U G A G. Here, if you see, there is no comma in between. These are commaless. But we know that it's a triplet codon. This will code for one amino acid. This will code for another amino acid. This for another amino acid. This for another amino acid. And this for another amino acid. It is commaless, but being a triplet codon, always three bases will code for one amino acid. But it is when we write it, or there is no comma when we mention it. It is commaless. The next point. Then we come to the next point, that some of the genetic codons, they have two functions. Okay, like AUG, some genetic codons, or triplet codons, one and the same thing, whether we call genetic codon or we say triplet codon. Some genetic codon have dual function. Like example AUG. AUG is a start codon. It is a start codon. That means it initiates the process. Also, it codes for methionine. Codes for amino acid methionine. So these are the two functions of this triplet codon, which is AUG, that it codes for methionine, and also it is the start codon or initiated codon. Then there are three stop codons. There are three stop codons or terminating codons, which are also known as terminator codons, and these codons are UGA, which is also known as OPEL. Then second codon is UAA, which is also known as OCHR, OCHRE. And the third codon is UAG, which is also known as AMBER. So there are three terminating codons or stop codons, and also known as nonsense codons. Why these are known as nonsense codons? These are known as nonsense codon because they do not code for any amino acid. That is why they even stop a process. They terminate a process. They stop a process. That is why these are known as nonsense codons or stop codons. Then non-overlapping means if we have the base sequence like A, U, G, C, G, A, U, G, A, U, G, like this. If we have this will code for one amino acid, we all know it, and this will code for another amino acid. We have this way a triplet will code for one amino acid. It's not that this has coded for methionine, and then in the next step, out of this UGU will code for another amino acid. It's not that. This doesn't happen. This will never happen. If we start from here, I just tell you in this sequence, this will code for one amino acid, it's okay. And this will code for another amino acid. It's not that this has coded for one amino acid and then AUG will code for amino acid. This will not happen. But this is going to happen. That means the nitrosames, they do not overlap to code for amino acid. Then they are collinear. That means order of nucleotides in gene correlates with the order of amino acid. That means they are collinear. Collinearity is seen. What is this collinearity? Collinearity, that means whatever nucleotides are there in this, whatever nucleotides are there, okay, in this, the same type of amino acids will be synthesized in front of this. Like if here we have AUG, then we have GUG, then we have UGU. So here they will code for the respective amino acid. That means this will code for methionine. Then GUG will code for valine. Then UGU will code for cysteine. So they code for their respective amino acids on the basis of the nitrogenous bases which are present on the base sequence. Okay, or their order is similar. They code for their respective amino acid only. This is collinear. So one more which I want to tell you, that they are universal in nature. Yes, I have already written that they are universal in nature. These are 6 codons. One more. They are always triplet. Genetic codons are always triplet. So this is another feature of genetic codon. So these are the salient features of genetic codons, that or the triplet codons. There are 64 codons. These codons are non-ambiguous. That means one non-ambiguous. That means AUG, which is there, as I have also told you, that it will always code for methionine. AUG will always code for methionine. It's not that AUG will also code for cysteine or lysine or any other. If AUG is there, it will always code for methionine only. It's not that it can code for cysteine also, it can code for lysine also. Then triplet codons are universal from bacteria to higher organisms. There is the triplet codon is same. Okay, AUG in case of bacteria, or in case of an element or an elephant, it will code for methionine only. So these are universal in their nature. Codes are commonless. There is no distinction between the two uh, triplet codons, but it is always that a triplet codon only codes for an amino acid. Then some genetic codons, they have dual functions. Like AUG has a dual function. What dual function it has? That it is the start codon or initiator codon, and it also codes for amino acid methionine. Then there are 3 stop codons. Out of those 64 codons, 3 are stop codons, which are UGA, also known as OPEL, UAA, also known as ochre, and UAG, also known as amber. These are also known as nonsense codon because they do not code for any amino acid. These genetic codons are overlapping also, non-overlapping. They do not overlap. That means if there is AUG, it will code only for methionine, and its AUG is used. All the 3 bases will be used for the synthesis, for the coding of one amino acid, that is methionine. It's not that A is used there, AUG first is used there, and out of that triplet codon, UG will be included in another triplet codon. It's not that. So these genetic triplet codons are non-overlapping. Then collinearity is seen. Whatever triplet codon is present in the chain or in the RNA, or in the, here it is RNA because used there. So the respective amino acid will be synthesized, will be coded in front of it. Okay, then genetic codons are always triplet. They are triplet because the nitrogenous bases when present in triplet form only makes possible that all the 20 amino acids may be used in the synthesis of uh, uh, in the coding process, not in the synthesis, in the coding process. So these were the salient features of triplet codon. Anything which you want me to repeat in this beta, or is it clear? Yes, bache, anything you want me to repeat, or is it clear? The salient features of genetic code. Tomorrow we will start up with the mutation process, mutation and genetic code. Anything in this? Yes, beta. So our time is also over. I'll end up the class. Yes, bache. Is it clear? I'm not getting any response now. Yes, beta. Okay, Chitra. Anybody else? Okay, Paras. Now tomorrow we will start with the mutation part, which is there in the genetic codon. How, okay, Suksahaj, how the genetic codon gets altered by the process of mutation. This we are going to do tomorrow. Okay, then, beta, the time is over. I end the meeting. Okay, stay safe. Okay, beta.